freaking orcs. You know all the Lord of the Rings bullcrafty orcs. They're mutated elves. They're basically horribly raped and tortured elves, and they grow green skin. Well, okay. In the 41st millennia, orcs are not that. Orcs are
This is a different world, though.
This is a different world.
Yeah, I got it.
In the 41st millennia, first, nothing has really gotten better. Everything has gotten a lot worse. Like, oh, we have flying cars and Jetsons and pill food. No, you eat dead bodies. Like, that's actually the primary food source because it's become so cost-effective to take bodies from the battlefield and melt them down to ooze and paste in which to feed to people, that's now what they do. And people live usually in giant hive cities, which are these giant mechanical towers constructed from the blood, sweat, and bodies of people constructing them.
Yeah, no, okay.
And from these,
I'm having a hard time.
This is okay. In Warhammer 40k, he's going off topic, but in 40k, the human race, there's 3 races. Well, there's like
there you go.
There's it's like Star.
Like,
okay, Warhammer 40k is like basically StarCraft. StarCraft like stole
just
all
tell
of
me
their
the
shit
existing race
from
40k.
40k.
Okay, the
humans,
Tyranids, which are basically Zerg, Eldar, which are basically Protoss,
Tau, which are space communist Chinese.
Tau, which are space communist Chinese. The Chaos, which are like humans. But anyway, so the humans, it's like really, really grim and like depressing. So the population is so big that one of their primary food sources is something called,
that makes sense.
corpse starch.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but talk about the orcs.
So okay, sir, going back.
It was the humans that are turning their dead bodies into paste, the nutritious paste, whatever, to feed them on.
It's called corpse starch.
Corpse starch?
It's screwed up.
It's not even starch, it's
Corpse starch.
Corpse protein, whatever. I don't care. It's paste made of people. Anyways, orcs.
They found an effective way.
So the
to
orcs, in comparison
That's off
to
topic.
Orcs, in comparison to Tolkien orcs, they are from space, obviously, space orcs, and also they are from. What do you call it? Well, actually, no one knows where they're from. They were just kind of there, but they all reproduce via spores. How this happens is that every time you kill an orc, regardless of what you do, from its head, billions upon billions upon billions of spores shoot. Well, billions upon billions upon billions.
The worst part is that he's not making any of this.
Do they look like?
No, hold on. Let me get this through. All right. So let's say you kill an orc on a plant.
Like the orcs look like orcs. Like, I mean, they've got.
But the function would be produced
They're
like
kind of like, you know, the big giant underjaw with giant teeth, and they're green, and they've got big swords and they're pissed off all the time.
Yeah. So that happens. So let's say, like, for some reason you're on a planet, like, hey, I'm on a planet. There's orc, bang, shoot, dead. All right. And you walk away. From these body shoots out tiny and microscopic spores. These spores plant in various dark places where it grows. So they grow. But essentially, orc biology is that it is actually cycling. So that if there's no other orc life form around, it will start a cycle of lesser creatures in which to support orcs. So if you kill this one orc, first these spores will go out and grow into these creatures called squigs. Squigs are these sort of herd animals. They have very large teeth. They're kind of like pigs. Squigs, pigs. They go around eating other local fauna and flora, getting bigger more or less. But they also produce spores. From these new spores created from the squigs, these then grow into these things called grots. Grots are basically goblins. There's a lot more big nose, a lot more Jewish. You get what I mean. So, from these grots basically form communities and herd these squigs together into like farms, more or less, to eat them and sustain them. However, from these grots come then more spores, and these spores then grow.
Is it going off topic?
No.
Okay.
This is the reproductive process of orcs.
Okay.
In 40k.
From these grots then are produced orcs, and these spores, these orcs basically go about bullying, taking over, destroying all this grot community to turn into an orky community, and from these orcs, more orcs and more orcs and more orcs. So it's basically the system where the grots herd the squigs in order to feed themselves and the orcs. And the orcs, in essence, almost provide a sadistic security to them by bullying them and by destroying everything else on the planet that isn't orcish in its nature. Along with this, a very strange little subset is that orcs, in their various manners in which they are produced, there are two special types of orcs that are produced, which are called mech boys and dock boys. These are from origin already equipped with vast knowledge of medical science and engineering. So if you have a mech boy and it somehow gets spawned out, it automatically knows how to make a combustion engine
but here's
or
the thing,
space
is
craft.
the orcs, they don't do that. None of their technology actually works. The reason it works is because they believe it works. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
In any...
But they think that it works, but it doesn't?
They think that it works, so it does. For example, like, they think that if you paint shit red, it goes faster, so it does. So they, like, make big clumps of metal and sit in it and go, this is my, mech, ah! And they freak out and, like, drive it, and it works for them. And they paint it red and it goes even faster. But then you kill them and try to get in and drive it yourself, it doesn't work at all.
If you were to open it up, it looks like all the pieces to make a combustion engine. Let's use a car, but they're not in the right place. It would not work logically. But when they're sitting, it like miraculously works for some stupid reason.
So,
I can't explain that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense.
They believe.
That's what I was saying when I was saying, like, oh, the lore in this planet's really weird.
Did you see
Like-
District 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about District 9?
Have you seen it?
Well, that's
District
because it's
9?
like it reads their DNA. That's not it. This is they believe it works, so it works.
Well, yeah, the weapons are openly compatible with their genes.
Yeah, it was nothing to do like I believe this can work.
This is like fantasy caliber ridiculous. Like, it only works because I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not comparing it, but
District 9 was pretty sweet.
But kind of going back on the reproductive cycle, after the orcs grow in mass from being just like fungusly grown into these huge vast armies and take over the planet, they in essence now wishing to reproduce and expand on this planet because they're the only thing there. They want to get off of it. They're producing at a massive rate. They basically clump everything they could find that could build like a star engine. So like giant clumps of metal, warp engines. Warp is the means of travel in space and whatever. And they load millions upon millions of orcs into these giant clumps of steel, which are called...
Like an asteroid.
It's like, yeah, it's basically a giant metallic asteroid. They fire into space, and they just send it to other planets by this
Like, and
means.
all the orcs on it die. All the orcs on it die when they get launched. Like, almost all of them do. But since they release the spores, the asteroid lands on the planet, and all the spores land and like reproduce more orcs. It's ridiculous. Like, it's just, it's so stupid.
So we have like the first kind of invasion force, and then the invasion force just grows
The metal
there.
asteroid collide with the planet.
It just crashes. They basically
Causes spores.
you lose like there's like a 99-to-1 ratio of dying.
But I think that my favorite part about these orcs is that they all have Cockney accents. Every single one of them has a British Cockney accent.
So, like,
Is this even from Earth? Like, Earth exists in this universe?
yeah, Earth exists.
Okay, so
They all have British Cockney accents. So yeah.
but this is like 38,000 years in the